So a hearty welcome to this session on this eve of KOS Conference 2021 called Life Beyond Ophthalmology. I think we have retermed it as nothing official about it. I think this session has been running successfully for the last three KOS physical conferences. I think this was a session which was always well attended, and we covered topics other than the ophthalmology. Is there background noise? So what is the speciality of this Life Beyond Ophthalmology session? We are going to bring in people to the table, few people who are ophthalmologists like you and me, who have been pursuing their profession, have done well, and also they have run an extra mile. They have that extra thing in them, be it in the field of anything outside ophthalmology. They have pursued their passion, their interest, their talent to actually gain, happiness, satisfaction, and that has completed a full circle. It has actually positively helped their profession. They have become better human beings. They have become better eye specialists, and that they want to share their story here. So this is one forum where we have people who have excelled in some part other than the professional ophthalmology. So that is exactly the point here. So everybody wants to do something beyond ophthalmology, and this is the forum where we share our experiences. We get enthused, we get motivated by hearing each other's story. So to this panel, we have a galaxy of very distinguished ophthalmologists. At the same time here, let me also give a disclaimer that every ophthalmologist has some dimension beyond his ophthalmology career. So every audience is also a potential faculty, or he can share his story. So here we are just making an attempt to put it across, and the audience are most welcome to put their thoughts and to contribute to this as the session continues. So always we had Dr. Bhujan Shetty, the founder of Narayana Netralia, for these sessions, but unfortunately today he is not able to physically attend this virtual meeting, but he has I've asked him for some video footage of some of the questions that he has answered that we will be sharing soon. And we have Dr. Rajshekhar Vayal, the former president of KOS, and he's probably a very important person who has so much wisdom to share in a forum like this. And we have Dr. Vivek Kadambi. I think as we start discussing, you will come to know more about Dr. Vivek Kadambi, ophthalmologist of repute, especially refractive surgery, and he has found his passion well beyond ophthalmology. In fact, he is the man who is suited for this because he has achieved so much in the last decade beyond ophthalmology. We'll soon hear from what actually keeps him going. And we have Dr. Jayashree Bhatt. In fact, she's my co-moderator. She's the firebrand behind this program. She has been basically motivating everyone to be in this program. So she's an ophthalmologist who has multiple, passions, interests, multifaceted. And soon we will probably come to know all this in today's session. We have Dr. Girish Swami, an ophthalmologist from Shumaga, who has done an excellent ophthalmic career. Along with that, he has been a teacher, a mentor for meditation courses, and in the field of spirituality, he has achieved a lot. And we have Dr. J. Sudhakar from Ballari, a very busy practitioner. At the same time, he has been a great fitness freak, and we are very happy to have Dr. Sudhakar. We have Dr. Ashutosh Bolur from Mangalore. He is a man who has represented India in swimming as a sport. So he has really excelled in a sport despite being a busy, ophthalmologist. Probably I suspect sometimes there are two bowlers, not one, because he has done extremely well in both the facets of his life. We are very happy to have you, Ashutosh. And we have Dr. N.S. Muralidhar. I think the words will fail to describe his the talent, not just in retina in ophthalmology, but way beyond that. And he has been a great, a singing sensation of KOS. And he has also a person who is a lot of philosophical thoughts, and he has conducted a lot of satsangs and guides people in the right direction. So, and then my college mate and my close friend, Dr. Sandhya Ramachandra, she has been a teacher of teachers. Probably she has been one of the most well-known ophthalmic professors and an extremely, versatile, multi-talented, multi-hobby personality who is a very suitable candidate to be a part of this panel. So welcome all of you. I'm Dr. Krishna Prasad from Hubli. So let's get started. I think we always say, it's a very cliche to say that, the main pursuit of life is pursuing happiness. I think if we look back at it again, nothing can be more true than that. Because whatever you do, whatever material things that you acquire, how much money you earn, whatever family you build around you, still we yearn to be happy. I think happiness is one single most important parameter to say that you are successful in your life, and that exactly is the parameter which drives us 24/7. So I think this happiness probably is a product of multiple parameters, and one of them is, I think, undeniably the health. If you are healthy, you have more chances that you can be happy. Okay, it's not always A is equal to B, but you have more chances that your ill health or sickness can actually make you miserable. So I think to maintain this health, we're all doctors, we know physiology, we know how things work. People expect us to be healthy and fit all the time. And we doctors also take things for granted. We are bad patients. We always, think that nothing can go wrong with us. So I think this health, fitness has been in recent years has been a real craze among doctors, and people have really gone, well beyond their limitations to excel in achieving greater amount of, fitness, so that the longevity as well as the quality of life has improved remarkably. Okay, so let me start with one ophthalmologist whom I always adore and have so much respect for his, the perseverance, Dr. Sudhakar J from Ballari. Sir, you can unmute yourself. So Dr. Sudhakar is a very busy practitioner. He has been in practice for more than 30 years, but he has been a very keen fitness, enthusiast. He pursues his fitness without much show off, very simple. At the same time, he has been very consistent. I think his level of fitness at this age is remarkable. So let me ask you, Dr. Sudhakar, sir, what actually that you do to remain so fit, and how you have been able to achieve it despite your such a busy schedule?
Good evening, Krishna Prasad. Thank you, Krishna Prasad, for giving me the opportunity to participate in this giveaway session. And it gives me pleasure. Though I am not expert in this field, whatever little I am doing, I would like to share with you. And to be fit and healthy, usually I spare around daily about 2 hours for this session, for exercise and all. And exercise is one of the important things we should do every day, because there is no substitute for exercise, and it's not available as a pill form. If that were to be there, everybody would have taken that pill. So exercise is a must. And there are 3 categories. One has to do flexibility exercises. Secondly, aerobic or cardiac exercises. Third is muscle strengthening exercises. For flexibility exercises, I do this yoga. Usually I get up around the morning 5 o'clock. I'm an early riser. And then do yoga for about half an hour to 40 minutes, yoga and pranayama. Then I go for jogging and walking. Daily on average, I do 8 to 10 kilometers. If it is weekly, around 50 kilometers, 25 kilometers jogging and 25 kilometers walking I do. Then I go to gym, and there I do muscle strengthening exercises. And it will take about roughly 2 hours. After completing it, then I start my profession. If I don't do the exercise, I feel that day is incomplete for me. That's how I am pursuing. And we have got a small organization here, Ballari Runners Club organization. Lot of people are there, more than 100 people, members are there. And Today also, every Saturday, we go for group running. Today also I did 8K. If I have more time, I do more than 10 also. Earlier I used to do more running. Now I cut short it because it's not advisable after the age of 60. So I don't run more than 10K. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
That's right.
So
that's how I
walking
maintain it.
and running,
Yeah.
both are interchangeable, or you have to run or jog? Can walking compensate that?
Yeah, usually
Somebody who cannot run.
10K continuously I run weekly once. Other days I run 5K continuous jogging and 3K walking. Like
But
that.
many a times when people hear the things from you, like we think that everybody can run 10K. Is it advisable to everyone to run, or is walking also okay?
Brisk walking is also okay. Okay, but if it is possible, it's running is definitely superior. Gives more fitness. Feel, especially slow jogging.
That question remains, Dr. Sudhakar, but the same question I'll ask Dr. Ashutosh. Dr. Ashutosh has been a pro swimmer. Like he has been a real fish in water. So he's done excellent record in aquatics. He has even represented India, and he has probably lots of medal. And he has to practice. Obviously, when you are in a competitive sports like competitive swimming, you have to be at your highest fitness. You have to put in a lot of hours in the pool, and you need to really follow a fitness regime, diet regime, which will take a lot of toll out of you. And being a busy practitioner, being an ophthalmic surgeon, probably we may think that it is not possible. But Dr. Ashutosh has actually done it. So let me redirect the question, Dr. Ashutosh. How did you actually get started like this? And now I will not ask you about your competitive swimming, but your level of fitness and the kind of minimum investment that time that you do, how do you manage out of your schedule?
Yeah, I normally start my day quite early, like around 5:30 in the morning. And I normally go to do calisthenics. I do ground workout, which strengthens my my general body muscles. So swimming is not daily. I don't do it daily. So I'm more into ground workout right now. And so those 45 minutes of morning workout is very important, which includes stretching and weight training, and which is not daily, which I don't follow the same routine daily. Each group muscle that is different for a day. And maybe on a weekend, I would go for swimming. So even if the same group muscles are worked in swimming, but swimming, you can't have stiff muscles, and it has to be totally toned down when you swim. So when I actually practice swimming, the muscles have to be toned down. So in case I'm practicing for a competition, I would actually stop my ground workout for at least a month and then go to swimming so that the muscles are totally relaxed. And you need to be totally tuned in a different way when you're swimming. So you're actually swimming hypoxic, and you need to concentrate more on the technique, and it's totally different than compared to what you're doing in ground workout. So you need the same group muscles are working. So
how do you manage time?
I do the workout in the morning. By 7 I'm back home, and swimming I do it at night, which is at after 8. So 8 to 9 is swimming. So it's swimming is not much. You can just take 15-20 minutes a day, which is not much. So you're actually, if you do swimming in the evening, you're totally relaxed. Your mind is totally relaxed after that. Even if you're stressed out, all your anxiety and everything is just totally out. It's totally a de-stressor. I would definitely suggest it to everybody.
I will ask Dr. Rajshekhar. I think he can also take it from here. Everybody is talking about 5 o'clock. So this is I'm really getting nervous. I'm not a 5 a.m. club member.
Sorry, KP, make it 4 a.m. I wake up at 4. I think all of us have done one sport for sure, which is weightlifting. All of us have carried our children. So I think all of us are weightlifters, right? Yeah.
Dr. Sandhya, Dr. Sandhya, I'm also 4 a.m. I go to sleep at 4 a.m. That's a fact.
Okay.
Some days I sleep early at 3 a.m.
Maybe I am the early bird and you are the late worm.
I don't know. People say that is, yeah.
Okay. Dr. Rajshekhar, what about this getting up early? Do you really have any ideas about getting up early really makes things better for us? Or it is something that probably can be dispensed with and just shift the clock little towards this side?
No, actually, getting up early has a lot of benefits. Though we ourselves, many people who have got up early after good night's sleep, getting up early, not that you sleep at 2 o'clock and get up at 5 o'clock, definitely not. You have definitely slept by 9:30, 10 and get up by any time from 4 a.m. and onwards, you'll definitely be fresh. At that time, for whatever reasons, whenever I have got up early, I'm not an early riser. Most of the time I get up late, but whenever I have got up early, I envy those people who get up early, because that time the whole cosmic energies will be different, and the peace is different, and the energy for the day is different. So those who get up early are the lucky fellows. I envy them actually.
Can I add something? I think it's worthwhile for all of us to practice what is called power naps, because I don't think I can sleep at 9 or 10 every day. But I have this habit of taking power naps of 8, 9 minutes, 10 minutes. That really energizes you and boosts your energy. I mean, open to comments from everybody else.
Definitely.
Yeah, Dr. Jayashree, you are the firebrand fitness promoter and enthusiast, and you have a lot of personal experience being that being your endorphin source.
Yes.
So obviously there are some gender issues. The men and women, okay, do not have the same privileges. The women do not have the same privileges, like just you can hit the gym anytime, get into a pool, and you can run, walk around. Obviously, is the gender issues an issue today? Let's take ophthalmic professionals only. The girls, now it is a majority now. Like, do you think that there is some kind of, they're neglecting this domain early in their career, that they are not spending time in fitness? And do you think that there are some definite hurdles for them to get fit like men?
Certainly, sir. Actually, it's not the same journey for men and women. We have to keep juggling between career, pregnancy, childbirth. And then if the child has given a sleepless night, then the question of getting up and doing something in terms of workout and gym is quite out of question. So I've also been there, but the only solace is that, those times will pass. Children do grow up and there is time for everything. Unlike many people who say life is short, I do believe that it is not a 100-meter dash that we are into, and life is quite a marathon. And there is time for everything. It's only, we have to take it one thing at a time, and we can't be, really struggling and aiming at being perfectionists in every area of life all the time. So there will be highs and lows. When kids were small, that time I was hardly able to do any kind of workout, and running behind them would be the biggest workout, I should say. But as they grew up, slowly I have found time for myself and to pursue my fitness interests. And I've been doing one thing after another. And I think it's a beautiful contribution by Dr. Sudhakar sir, that flexibility, aerobics, and strength training, these are needed very much, be it man or woman. After a certain age, we know that the bone density comes down, and then we have to keep doing every form so that we don't go rigid. We need yoga, and then we don't become very lax for the body toning, etc. We need strength training, and then we also need aerobic endurance, and so we have to keep doing walking, jogging, or dancing. And dancing is my favorite form of aerobic activity.
But I always find that the women don't do weight training much. Do you think that's probably the lacuna, right? They normally just walk or do treadmill at home. Probably they don't do all aspects. Especially weight training is something not very common among women.
I'm quite an endorser for strength training. Unlike strength training, even floor exercises, body weight floor exercises also can be the same thing. I don't really think that we all women have to do heavy powerlifting. Even our own body weight is enough, and that I have experienced myself during COVID. I came out of all gym memberships and just started doing body weight exercises at home. That gives enough strength training also. But strength training is absolutely a must, and that is why we see mainly women, 35 plus and 40 plus, who go into osteoporosis and get into all kinds of joint problems, knee problems, because the joints have to be supported by muscles which are, strong enough. So strength training is a must for all women or men, for that matter, is what I believe in.
I think I have to ask this question to Ashutosh. How do you endorse swimming for ophthalmologists? What is your take on this?
Definitely, yes, sir. And I would
even if you're playing table tennis, even if you're playing tennis, okay, think that you're not a swimmer, even then.
Yes, definitely I would endorse swimming for an ophthalmologist, because I mean, in a regular OPD, we would normally adjust our seating posture to the slit lamp, or in the OT as well. But what happens is some odd cases that you need to sit in an odd posture, and there this comes to help. So, I mean, swimming really helps your neck muscles, your lower back, your core, which actually strengthens your core. So normally, if I would not be swimming, and if you think I'm a non-swimmer and doing, sitting in an odd posture, definitely it would hurt me by the end of the day. Maybe just a 10-minute odd posture, sitting on the slit lamp or in the OT. But being a swimmer, I would say my core muscles are strong, my lower back is strong, my neck muscles are strong. So it really doesn't, I can do that. And I would definitely endorse it to other ophthalmologists as well. So, I mean, you need not do isometric exercise for your neck or anything just to strengthen it. Swimming definitely helps both the core and the neck.
But also it is joint friendly, right?
Joint friendly. It's a totally low stress, low intensity workout. So it really helps a lot.
I want to share something, KP. I played basketball for state level. So before playing basketball, we used to have a lot of stretching exercises and all that. So during those 20-25 years when I was busy with many other things, I continued to do the stretching exercises. I realized that I was much stronger because I did my VR fellowship at the age of 40. And at that time, I used to find a lot of the youngsters who were finding it very hard. They used to say, the IDO is very heavy, I can't bend, and things like that. So what he said is absolutely correct. Even doing for ladies as such, continue to do some kind of stretching exercises. If you're not able to really give a focused time for your fitness training, just that would really help. That's been my personal experience.
Ashutosh, I just wanted to add here this. A lot of people are looking for excuses not to do any exercise, and they say my knees. Typical, in the middle-aged or later, you say your knee is a problem. Yes. So I just tell them, well, even if you walk in the water, I know if you can't swim, if you just walk on the water, that is also good enough. Is that right?
Definitely yes. Yes, definitely yes. Even just hydrotherapy, in the sense you just lean along the deck of the pool, just keep your shoulders and just keep moving your legs is also quite good enough, because your quads and your abs also work there. So,
and they come with the next excuse. Yeah. The next excuse is it's too cold. And it's too cold in Bangalore.
So what Ashutosh is saying is basically drown your bicycle in the pool and do cycling. Yeah, good one.
Okay, I think physical health, obviously a determinant, but also mental health. I think this is also very important. I told you, physical health is one of the parameters and usually can make you happy. But I think everything falls into place when your mind is also peaceful, okay, and it can probably enjoy the things that you have. So we work on the physical health. We hit the gym, we go to pool, we do that, we lift weights, we do all this thing. But do we do anything to strengthen our mind? Do we do anything to improve the health of our mind? Probably not. We don't probably do it with that intention, but it may happen like that. So I think this mental health is linked to so-called the spirituality. I think spirituality is a very mistaken word. It is nothing to do with religious practice or concept of God or your caste or subcaste or rituals. Spirituality is trying to understand who I am and probably also to understand the mind. I think the next century, belongs to mind-body medicine, how we are the quantum, okay, health, what we call, maybe if you probably read the books of Dr. Deepak Chopra, he says that is the next future, how the mind, I mean, alters the body, and that is being uncovered now. So about mind, see, we are not experts in this field, but I think we have enough, wisdom in this panel to probably share what we are doing to improve our health of our mind. Okay, we have, let me start with Dr. Muralidhar. Dr. Muralidhar is a very well-known vitreoretinal surgeon, and vitreoretinal surgery is always fraught with disappointments, failures and patient cribbing, multiple surgeries, injections. And so it really takes a lion heart to kind of take all this, digest it and take it at the end of the day. So normally there is some amount of, it rubs onto you, the patient's pathos, agony, complaints, the deplorable state rubs onto you, and it does definitely make a mark or make a scratch. So to remain unscathed, to retain that holistic view, to understand that I am not everything, I think you really need some pragmatism, some level of detachment, and some level of a strong strength of your mind to come untouched or undisturbed in this. So I think Dr. Muralidhar has been practicing, I should say, spirituality in his own way, and he has really put it in his practice, and he has been successful. So Dr. Muralidhar sir, like, how do you make your mind strong? Which gym to get a membership for?
Thank you, KP. I don't think I have kind of easy answers to your question. You have raised a lot of things. Ultimately, it boils down to mind. The mind is, and as you said, the mind and the body are interconnected. So the mind has to be at peace. Mind has to have a healthy mind. You touched upon many things. I don't know which aspect to talk about. You talked about spirituality. Spirituality is something that's misunderstood by many people. Actually, in my opinion, it is nothing but getting in touch or knowing yourself that you are not the body, you're not the mind, but you are the spirit. So when you go on that quest to find out that spirit within you, what is its origin, and get in, if you believe in whether you believe in God or not, you have to believe that there is energy. Everything is nothing but energy. We know that Einstein said matter and energy are interconvertible. So ultimately everything is energy, and we believe that there is an universal energy source. You may call it as God, you may call it as anything, universal spirit, whatever it is. I feel the quest is to get in touch with that universal energy, and that is spirituality. Your journey to get in touch with that universal spirit, that is what is spirituality. And once you get in touch with that, you are a different man. And even when you are on the quest, definitely your priorities will be different. So it all boils down to what are your priorities in life, how do you prioritize your life, and how do you do. Most of our actions are based on our priorities and our needs. When we are young, when we are doing MBBS, we want to pass the exam. After the exam, we want to get into a PG course. Now, once you get into a PG course, you want to get good training, you want to get that MS degree. Then you want to land a job if you're looking for a job, or if you are looking for some higher training, or then you want to start your practice. At each phase of your life, your needs are different, your priorities are different. But there comes one point of time in your life where you have to define what is going to be my priority. So that is the point that may come at whatever age, it may be at 40, 50 or 30 or whatever it is. So that you have to prioritize your life, and rest of all your, this one will revolve around that. So somebody said, I get up at 4 a.m. Alex Sudhakar and Ashutosh said, I get up at 5 a.m. because they want to do that practice. They want to, do that exercise. They want to do that running. Somebody like me, I may get up at 5 a.m. to do meditation. I may not do exercise. but I may do meditation for 1 hour or 2 hours or whatever, amount of time I want to do. So it's important to prioritize what you want in life. You need to keep a balance with everything. You have your responsibility, you have your responsibility to the family, you have your job, you have your family. So it is important to keep a balance. Otherwise, it will be not really going to, it's not going to work out. And coming back to the question of fitness, I noticed that, Jayashree and Sudhakar and Vivek, all of them said, yes, you need to definitely some time on fitness. I strongly believe that you need to be healthy, but at the same time, I don't know whether it is really possible to earmark about 1 to 2 hours every day towards this. I think all of us probably will not be able to do it. Only people like Ashutosh, who is passionate about swimming, or Dr. Sudhakar, who is passionate about running, they can do it. But for most of us, this will not be possible. So I would say, to keep fit, what is my formula? My formula is do some form of physical exercise for at least 45 minutes to 1 hour. At least 30 minutes to 1 hour. You do something. It may be just brisk walking, it may be just jogging, you may just do 12 Surya Namaskars. I would say 30 minutes to 60 minutes of some kind of exercise is definitely recommended for everyone. Doing 2 hours and more than that would be in the field of people who are in passion. I know my colleague Dr. Kavita and her husband go for cycling. They did for cycling for almost something like 8 hours a day for 3 days. They cycled around Shimoga, from Shimoga to Jog Falls, from Jog Falls to Dandeli. So that's a different kind of passion. So that's passion. There are two things here. Passion is different. Keeping fit is different. Keeping fit definitely possible for all of us. We need to earmark that time. And people, I don't want people to get scared and say, unless I have 2 hours, I can't do exercise. I don't want people to go with that idea. Just keep 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour, at least 30 to 45 minutes, maybe 1 hour on weekends, something like that, or some form of exercise that will keep you fit. The other thing about spirituality, that is entirely left to you. What are your priorities? What is it that you want to do? It is purely a personal quest. There's nothing uniform about it. We can't say this is what everybody needs to do. This is a very, very individual and a personal quest, that everybody has to kind of take that journey for themselves. But
I think can't agree more, sir. I think, yeah.
Everybody should think, what is beyond this life? What is beyond? What is going to happen at the time of death? Am I ready for that moment when I'm going to die? What is going to happen? What preparation have I made for that moment? We all, like, we travel. Okay, moment there is a trip, okay, you take out your suitcase, you pack things, you say, okay, I need this toothbrush, I need this toilet kit, I need this undergarment, I need this suit, I need this tie, it's going to be winter there, I need my warm clothes. Just for a trip, lasting for 1 day or 2 days or 3 days, you make so much of preparation. What preparation have you made for that final journey? This is the question I want everybody to think about. And answers, they make it differently. The quest may be different, but this is one question. What is this? What is the meaning of life? Why am I here? What is the purpose of this? This is a very deeper question that, many of us may not, I would say, should start thinking.
But I'll ask this question, Dr. Rajshekhar. I think you'll be the right man to answer. You said you turn spiritual, you are looking for it, fine. But does it not take away from our life the priority, the materialism, the consumerism, that everything binds all of us together? If we probably start becoming too spiritual, start looking at the final date, the whole world will not fall apart. Dr. Rajshekhar.
Yeah, KP, thanks, KP. Muralidhar has answered extremely well. In understanding Muralidhar's viewpoints and few pearls, one also have to have a kind of a perception to get all those points in depth. Otherwise, they look like some English sentences. So with that depth, if you see, and your question, if you become spiritual, you will run away from materialism. That's the question, no? So this spiritualism and this understanding life and the purpose, all these things are very, very paradoxical. If you see a person who says, I don't want anything, if somebody says, I don't want anything, he may be ending up getting the maximum. So life is paradoxical. I have seen this paradox many times, and we need to keep observing how paradoxical it is. Similarly, if you say spiritualism, if you say, I don't want anything, nothing belongs to me and all that, then everything belongs to you. If everybody says nothing belongs to them, that everything belongs to everybody. So
I will
like,
put one sentence
so
here. Richest person is somebody who does not want anything.
Sorry, Murli?
Sorry, the richest person is somebody who does not want anything.
So
if you have, let's say, even if you have, I'll just finish 1,000 crores and you still want the 1,001st crore, you're still poor.
Poor by 1 crore there, So, so this is where that comes. And you started off this session extremely well saying, we all look for happiness. Then, in what you are finding happiness comes the other question. So then when you go on listing, these are the things which gives happiness, then again, that list becomes endless. So it's like, it's a little tricky. It requires a kind of perception and a kind of experience in life to understand. Otherwise, people will say, this guy has money, so he talks like that. This guy has years behind him, he talks like that. It's not like that. These days, we are seeing amazing, actually. Many people in their early 20s talking spiritual, talking philosophy, which, what was thought was good for only 60 plus people. There is a change in the way people are looking at it. If you go to many satsangs and all that, you see a lot of youngsters coming in there. Being professionals, being doctors, we have a disadvantage that most of the time of ours goes in the so-called same routine clinical work, and a lot of time is eaten up. So, and many times we get to think that we are superior kind of a thing because that doctor, patient, or whatever, like, except for those few moments. So the ego also of the doctor or the medical professional is little bloated more than the common man. So these things may work against doctors to get grounded. Otherwise, if you stay that grounded person, they are the happiest. And happiness that way is easy to get.
Yeah, in
sense
fact,
of
what
entitlement. Yeah,
Muralidhar and Rajshekhar, I think I look at spiritualism in a very simple way. If you just open your mind, whatever, just open your mind. Look at me, I'm opening my mind and you reach out. I have the cosmos behind it. If you watch my head, as I open my mind and I reach out, you see enlightenment on my head there, it's happening. I don't know if you can see the background.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's coming to us.
Yes, coming to you. All right. So I was very symbolic because, so that's one part of it. And KP, that's right, that getting into spiritualism doesn't mean that we have taken sannyas. That means it's not that you go away from materialism. That means that let the material come, but you are one. You can talk about not being materialistic if you're financially stable. My first question I ask anybody, any student is, are you financially stable? Do you have loans? Do you have obligations? So once you're free of those, then you choose your passion, you choose your vision. So getting financial stability is most important. And one of the things that comes in the way of financial stability is when we start your practice, especially, you have to take all these loans. Until you clear that, you can't say that I would be free of materialism. But as Murli had very clearly said, it's a question of what you want. That means what is your final goal in that. So that's a little bit of a difference in when you talk about the spiritualism. Yeah, Sandhya, you were saying something. You're muted.
You are muted.
Muted.
Sandhya ma'am, you're muted.
We have to learn lip reading. Sandhya, You're muted.
Sandhya, you're muted.
You were
Unmute
scolding
yourself.
me, I think.
There is
Yeah.
what is called as a new AdCom module in medical teaching, which teaches us attitude, ethics, and communication. So this has been something which like I take that as an opportunity to tell the spirit of Bhagavad Gita. Like now the postgraduates who have chosen ophthalmology and come to ophthalmology, I often tell them, you are destined to become an ophthalmologist. And just as in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna told Arjuna that you have to follow Kshatriya Dharma. So you have to be a good ophthalmologist. To be a good ophthalmologist, you need to learn and accumulate knowledge, experience during your post-graduation, and only then you will be a good postgraduate. Then the money, the success will follow. You should not aim for that, is what often I tell my postgraduates. And I think we don't have to look beyond Bhagavad Gita to understand what is our dharma. Like we are all doing our dharma as doctors. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Rajshekar. This is what I have believed and I have told students.
No, absolutely. I agree with you. You got to do your dharma. You got to be
See,
true to your dharma.
Yeah.
I want to quote a nice saying from our master. He said, what is dharma? Dharma is the responsibility that you have in whatever position you are in. So that maybe as a doctor, maybe as a father, maybe as a husband, maybe as a son, maybe as a brother, maybe as a citizen. So there are so many facets to it. So whatever is your responsibility in each of these roles, that is the entire your dharma. So see, dharma just does not mean being an ophthalmologist doing good. So you have dharma at at home, at family, in this citizen, as a citizen. So there are so many aspects to it.
Program where the way to motivate them and
Yeah,
introduce
I agree
them
with you. That's a very good way of putting, motivating them and to say why you want to be a good ophthalmologist.
I think interruption. I think one good thing is in our medical education, we are incorporating this. I think Sandhya told me this long back. I think this is a very good move that at least they're in the very early in their formative years, we are trying to motivate them, think in the right direction so that they can probably find their way. I think Dr. Bhujanga Shetty was also supposed to be a part of this panel, but because of some reason that he could not make it. So I'd asked him some 4 or 5 questions and he was kind enough to actually send a 1-minute video for the answer for each of these questions. Can you allow me to share my screen, Abhinava? Okay.
Yes, doctor, you can share.
No.
You can share, doctor.
It's coming as disabled. Oh God, give me a second chance. Yeah.
You can make him co-host. He'll be able to share.
Yeah, you can share now, doctor.
KP, I want you to answer me later. Do the happy go lucky or the lucky go happy?
No, you are listening his audio or not?
No, we can't.
audio.
We're just we are
Even
seeing,
the video has not come.
yeah,
Okay,
we are
okay.
seeing your
I'm just
some
seeing your
problem there.
screen.
we are seeing your
Just-
quarterly returns. We are seeing your quarterly returns, Q1, Q2, and I don't know where
Q1,
Q5
Q2,
came from.
Q3.
I see. I think there is some.
I think you opened your income tax folder.
Good
You are
one.
answering about the higher purpose of life, and you are telling me the highest purpose of life.
This makes
Okay, I
me
think I'll come
reckon
back to
one
that.
thing. KP sir, if you will allow me to talk, what my mom used to tell me that time when she said that, it didn't make much sense, but now I can recollect. She said, whatever may be your aggressive professional journey, everything is like a horizontal, onward. But you have to also do a vertical journey. And always like our NS Muridhar sir said, it is a balance. We are striking a balance between the materialistic world and the spiritual world. We can't, completely do one thing and forego the other. We have to strike a balance. We have to be on our onward horizontal journey, invest, save, spend, do whatever it takes. And also at the same time, we can't be only that, but we should also be on a vertical journey or an inward journey as well. This is coming from my mother, and I thought this is the right time probably to recollect it.
Excellent example, because we need to rise higher in our spiritual journey, and horizontally, how much ever we progress, there will be not an inch elevation. I think if you probably are spiritually oriented, your professional journey is much more tolerable. Patients find you much more, like your healing powers will improve. I think that is a very important thing. So let me come to the most important man in this panel regarding this particular thing. Dr. Giriswamy, a senior ophthalmologist, has been a mentor
Yes,
or a teacher in the pyramid, meditation sessions. And I want to ask you, Dr. Giriswamy, a very simple question. Like from tomorrow, I want to start meditation. Okay, just guide me how to do meditation.
Why tomorrow? Today itself.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So, see, I think the meditation is very simple. I think all of my friends here in this group should learn a very simple technique, and importance of that I will tell you later. The madam said spirituality and the material life both should go hand in hand. That completes the balanced life. Samatvam yoga uchyate. So give me 15 minutes. I will put everybody into guided meditation, maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And then you will know instead of talking theory.
So you mean in this session, sir?
In this session?
Yes.
Sir,
Why not?
Then I'll suggest you something. We can have one KOS session purely on this with a proper, not as a part of this session, because we need to wind up by 9 because the cultural people are waiting. So I think we will. I definitely am interested to put this across to the KOS and make it a webinar exclusively by you. So, but give me answerly in brief, like how does, because there are 100 people tell 100 different things. Okay, and we don't know whether they are expert, whether they have personal experience. But I completely confide in you that you have personal experience. So only person who knows more can tell less. So that's why I want you to simplify this, rather oversimplify it for us.
See, meditation is living with awareness. There are techniques how to improve our awareness. There are techniques. That is a technical part. The meditation is living with awareness. Forget about the meditation. When somebody is sitting there in Himalaya or at home or somewhere else, you are sitting there, your mind is empty or something, etc., etc., etc. But when you are doing your work, doing your surgery, talking to your people, dealing with your family members, driving anytime, we have to be aware of ourselves. That is called present in the present and absent in the absence. Not that when we are eating, we are thinking about a movie, Amitabh Bachchan's movie. No. In Lord Buddha, somebody is asked, what is meditation? He said, walk while you walk, eat while you eat, think while you think. When you are walking and you are doing surgery, when you are walking and you are doing surgery, don't think anything. Mind should be empty and highly concentrated. That is called as mindfulness. When you are doing work, mindfulness, but when you are doing meditation, mind is empty. No thoughts whatsoever in the mind. I will give you an example. We have plenty of thoughts in a day. So in a survey, in a study, about 40,000-50,000 thoughts we get in a day. So mind is nothing but a bundle of thoughts. You ask the mind, what is the mind? And everybody talks of physical body activities. Mind need rest and the best information, best thoughts, best emotions, like positive thoughts, positive emotions, and like Shuddha Vichara, Shuddha Bhava. And later on through meditation, it will lead to Shunya Bhava, Shunya Vichara. So Yavaga Shunya, Shuddha Vichara will be converted into Shunya Vichara, that is thoughts. When it is converted into Shunya Bhava, from the Shuddha Bhava. That is the pure thoughts and pure emotions. The mind will be blissful. So in short, I tell you, mind get lots of about 40 to 50 thoughts in a day. 70% are junk thoughts. 30% are constructive and then useful thoughts. But these junk thoughts we never delete. That will go into subconscious mind. It will act in a different way. I'll give you an example. You go to your home today, check all your cupboards and your home. 70% of things not used for whole lifetime. We accumulate things. What I want to say, suppose you buy a car, you use 30%, not 70%. You build a house, you use 30%, not 70%. When we go and leave the body, when we die, most of the people, they leave their 70% of earned money, property, etc., either in the bank or in the property. They leave and go. They don't give and go, but they leave and go. So why? Because of these 70% junk thoughts which are acting every day. Every day they are acting. So best way, only way is, yes.
Sir, Manasu Markata.
Yes, I'll come to that point. Because of the 70% junk thoughts, Manasu Markata, monkey mind. So when you delete these 70% thoughts, mind will be free. Tomorrow, so every day I suggest, every day do meditation, delete this thought. Suppose in a mobile, if you don't delete the 1,000 messages, what will happen? Next day it will hang. Same thing happening to the mind. Mind is nothing but a bundle of thoughts and the emotions. So that's why the importance of the psychological and emotional health is so important, which we are not trained. All the doctors and medical college institutions, we are failed to fulfill the definition of the WHO or definition of the health. Physical, mental, social, psychological, emotional, and the spiritual health. We train for physical health and dealing with that, but we are not fulfilling. That is a system failure, but still I suggest we have to implement that training.
Sir, let me not, I think we'll not probably continue the cliche. I just want to come back to the brass tack.
Yeah, mind.
Sir, what is the advantage of doing meditation? Let's say I'm not meditating. I'm missing something. Tomorrow, if I start meditation, what will I gain? I just want your pure scientific thoughts on this. I want Dr. Giriswamy to answer this.
Yes, sir. Scientifically assess what is a meditation is emptying the mind. So mind consists of 5 things. Chanchala Chitta, that is monkey mind. Muda Chitta, that is the Agnana. Agnana Murka mind. Agnana means less lack of knowledge. So Chanchala Chitta, Muda Chitta, Shanta Chitta, Ekagra Chitta, Ananda Chitta. These 3 are important. These 2 are not important for us, for our growth, development and evolution. Madam said vertical and horizontal. I said another one, evolution. Evolution is in total direction, in multi-dimension. That is called evolution of body, mind, soul. So, and next thing is, if you delete these 2 things, these are the villains in our life. So Chanchala Chitta, Muda Chitta, through meditation, that is the one possibility. And we can nourish these things. I will give example. Veerappan and Mahatma Gandhi and the Hitler. All are human beings. So Hitler nourished this, Veerappan nourished these 2 things, wrong thoughts, wrong decisions. He does the destructive one. But Mahatma Gandhi nourished these 3 things, Shanta Chitta, Ekagra Chitta, Ananda Chitta. That is the right thoughts. So right living, he take a decision. That is a one good example. So we have to nourish what the best qualities in the mind. Every day we have to edit the mind, audit the mind, address the mind, and correct the mind, and counsel the mind on our own, on myself, everybody. So then we can have a best growth, development, and evolution.
Dr. Giriswamy, I think I want to rephrase what Krishna Prasad said, because maybe that's going on in my mind. That do you need to actually do some what you call as meditation to achieve this? What if I say that, look, I'm getting all these chittas, including the bliss, but I'm really not actively practicing any meditation, but I can feel that I'm there. So why do I need to do, quote unquote, some kind of meditation?
Sir, you are already evolved. These things. Other people are not evolved. Those who are not evolved, they need it.
All right.
It's in the name.
ಇದು
It's
ತುಂಬಾ
in the name.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ
You are
ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ
Vivek.
ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಬೇರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಇವಾಗ ಒಬ್ರಿಗೆ ವೇಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಒಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೇನ್ ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಕಸ್ಟಮೈಸ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಕೆಲವರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಲೈಕ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಎ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಅಗ್ರೆಸಿವ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಪ್ರೆಸಿವ್, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ತರ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ವೇರ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬೈ ಬರ್ತ್, ಬೈ genetics plus our life experiences, we come to a state where we need to probably exercise more or meditate more or exercise less. Dr. Vivek Kadambi is like born award happy.
No. I don't say that. I mean, don't give me that kind of status. But this question was put to Sadhguru, and he was asking, why don't I do you? I mean, do I have to do meditation with yoga? Can I not just do yoga without meditation? And his answer, I think, was beautiful. What I liked. He said, if you're doing yoga without meditation, that is exercise. Then that is exercise. If you want to practice yoga, then it is yoga with meditation. So that, I think, made a lot of impact on me.
Sir, for you, singing might be meditative itself.
Yes. Yeah. What he said was, then don't call it yoga. Don't call it yoga. You're doing some exercise, you're doing asanas, you're doing all this, but don't say you're practicing yoga, because if you're not meditating.
Chitta vritti nivritti. Yoga is called vritti nivritti.
I tell you, yes.
You have.
I tell you, I will explain this. Patanjali said, yoga, chitta, vritti, nirodha.
Yeah.
He said 5 things: Shaucha, Santosha, Tapas, Swadhyaya, Ishwari, Pranidhana. Shaucha means cleaning the external and clean the mind. When you clean the mind, you can show anything there. I will give you one example. See, when you grow ragi in a agriculture land, so you get the ragi, right? But next time you want to grow jawar, but you have to clean that ragi and everything. Adana hada madbeku, asana madbeku, cultivation, everything, keep it ready. Then only we can sow the jawar. Then we get the jawar. But if you mix up like chanchala chitta, muda chitta, these thoughts, so we don't get the good result. Similarly, when you want to grow the jawar next time, you have to clean. That cleaning process is called meditation.
Yes.
I think
That cleaning process is meditation.
Yeah, yoga just a
To
form
me,
of.
I'll take a tangential view. To me, the pursuit, I'm not saying achieving, the pursuit of excellence is my meditation. I mean, excellence in anything. Excellence can be in the way I dress, the excellence in what I do as a surgeon, excellence in my domestic, in my community. So just the pursuit of excellence is, to me, a very good form of meditation.
Absolutely.
I conclude in 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
How do you get
2 minutes,
excellence?
please.
When you are totally devoted to it? So that is a kind of commitment that you are putting to gain excellence, which is actually a type of yoga.
Now, I would like to actually direct this to Dr. Vivek only. You are a ophthalmologist who practiced refractive surgery right from the beginning. And then you are now also a very well-known rock star in a rock band, Rocket Dog. And how do you have achieved this? Now I'm just taking a tangent from that. Like, what made you pick the mic and your pursuit of excellence, as you phrased it? Okay. Yeah. And how did you land you people in this particular situation? What made you do this and how it has actually benefited you?
Okay, so I'll answer that question by very, I'll actually talk about my own life, and I hope that's an example. Like Swami would tell that my life is my message. Everybody's life, you give a message. So everyone has talent. Okay, I mean, my mother said that I sang before I could talk. Okay, that's just the way I put it. So everybody knows talent, and you have to learn to recognize the talent. There's nobody that doesn't have a talent. Second, if you consider the talent as a gift from God, and that you are insulting God, I'm using the word God, whether you believe or not, you're insulting the person who gave you the gift by not making use of that in your life, then you are guilty of insult, or you're guilty of actually insulting yourself. So let's say that you realize that you have a talent. Ashutosh realized that he's a talent in swimming, Giriswami in spiritualism, Muralidhar also in singing. So the best way to do that is, And I always tell that do not let go of that, whatever happens. In the sense, I think Sandhya said that she was a sportsman, she was a basketball player. I was also a sportsman, and you learn from this from sports about teamwork and about discipline. So as you're going through, if you inculcate the same your talents into your work and choose what you're good at, because as you would have noticed, not every surgeon is good at everything, but the natural talent will come. So what, for example, today morning, I went all the way to Hennur. Remember, I'm staying in a retirement village in Kanakpura Road, Talgadpura. I went all the way to Hennur for a studio because our band was jamming. We had only 4 songs to practice, but it took us 4 hours. And again, so that is karat karata abhyas ke jadbati hot suzan rasri avat jate silban pade nusan. So that is the difficult part. So whatever you do, if you discover that you have a talent, and since you mentioned about singing, I'm only talking about by Rocker Dog, then I felt that I don't want to be a professional singer. That's for sure, because when you do something as a professional, it's a different ball game. If you're doing it as a hobby, but you should aspire, as I spoke about excellence, that I should be able to be at neck and neck with professionals. I should be able to, Muralidhar can come any point of time and sing and deliver, and he will be considered at par with the professionals. But those professionals are different because they're doing it for a living. So the same principle, if you apply that, I'm going to pursuit of excellence. I didn't say get excellence, because there was a very good movie called Pursuit of Happiness. And that person, Bruce, a very nice sentence was said there that perhaps they got it right, that in the Constitution of the United States, that maybe happiness is something that you can never achieve. It always has to be pursued. So that's the kind of a thing when you know, and you know that when you reach one level, your benchmark goes up and you go to that level. Now you have to find the time. So Ashutosh says that, at 8 o'clock he swims. So he finds the time. So if you find that something is important, I mean, I have actually too many things. I also have this golf, which I was quite, passionate about. But then one day of the week, Thursday, is golfing day with my golfing friends. Then you say, I will not overdo it. There's the other part of it. Don't overdo it. So if you ask me what actually brought me there, is that when I was doing it, it gave me pleasure. As a refractive surgeon, it gave me pleasure. It was not just the surgery that gave me pleasure. It was of doing something new. When I was, in Russia, I was learning something new. That was giving me pleasure. So a lot of people, of course, I think the commonest word they use for me is he's crazy, he's mad, he's insane. Because, I get bored. My mind wants to always go discover new things. I don't know how many of you know that now I treat metabolic and hormonal disorders. I have a compounding pharmacy. I treat PCOS, infertility, autoimmune diseases, pregnancy, perimenopause, menopause, depression. In fact, on 19th, I'm giving a lecture on T3, use of thyroid T3 in depression and how you apply to that. Now, the point over here is the common feel is that I'm as a doctor. So I didn't become a doctor to be a great surgeon. You can become a skillful surgeon, but if you actually think, I became a doctor to help people. And if I can help people in this way, if I can help people, make them happy by singing and by doing my work as a Kshatriya dharma, or I'm not a Kshatriya, but as following my dharma, I think that is where you find that the time you use the same thing, multitasking, if you may use that word, and you should be very clear at what point to overdo it, because there was a phase in my life where I overdid things, I burnt out. I felt very proud. I had 5 companies. There were partners from when somebody asked, why do I stay up late? Because my partners from Hong Kong would wake up and US partners wake up. And I was feeling that I was, very great and doing something. I burnt out. And one by one, I decided, if somebody asked me that, what is the greatest success in your life? I said, the biggest success in my life is I have failed more often than I have succeeded. I have absolutely failed in many of those. And therefore, you start now reducing, shrinking, and then you finally decide that this is the way I would pursue. But your talents will never go, whether you're a refractive surgeon or you're swimming or you're singing. The same talents you apply everywhere. Your character, the end of education. Swami would say that what is the end of education? End of education is character. It's not knowledge. So if you ask me how to do that, constantly, if you think every time in your mind that am I using my talent in the way I'm in my profession, in my family, I think that is the kind of enlightenment I would say I've got it. So I don't know whether today you ask me a year later, I may say something else. But at this point of time, I feel that's where for me it has worked. And I would encourage everybody to go.
You said right at the beginning that it opens your mind. So I think the education, the helm of education or the ultimate aim of education is to make your mind open and be open to more learning. And you remind me of the sentence Gopal Krishna Adiga said, "Iruvudellava bittu iradudaredege todiyude jivana." So that's probably an example of what all you described as various
but I don't blame anybody, because they have to go through the same phases. We go through phase of learning, then you get to the phase where you get success, and after that you get failures, and then finally you start you get into a phase where you teach others, and then you just inspire others. After some time the teaching stops. You just have to inspire. The difference between teaching and inspiring is that you inspire people just by your own actions. You don't teach. A good teacher never teaches anybody. You just teach somebody how to learn. That's a very important part when you actually become.
Even in medical colleges, the teachers, the whole teaching has shifted from teacher-centric to student-centric. So we are no more called teachers. We are called facilitators. And in fact, we learn as we go along. We learn more. We benefit more. KP, wanted to ask you that question: are the happy going lucky or the lucky going happy? You didn't answer me that.
I don't know. I really don't know the answer.
Sometimes I will answer.
Yeah.
Yes,
sir. I think there are 4 important things needed for a human being: peace, prosperity, health, and happiness. Anything else? See, for thousands of years, men has gone to Himalaya or the forest. They start searching why we are living. The ultimate truth was why we are living is for these 4 things: happiness, peace, prosperity, health, and happiness. To achieve these things, we need to learn meditation. That is the spirituality. And spirituality is nothing but experimentation, exploration, evaluation, experiencing, and enjoyment, and evolution and enlightenment. These 5 E's at least please remember.
Dr. Sandhya, I just got a brainwave. Okay, here you go. So I got the brainwave coming from here. And I thought of what you said, and this is a very good question. Can you repeat that question? Do the happy go lucky or the lucky go happy?
Lucky go happy. Yes.
Yeah. So now let me tell you, I can answer very clearly, because one, I'm going to eliminate one of those variables, because there's no such thing as luck. There's no such thing as lucky, because luck is where opportunity meets preparedness. That's very, very clear. There is no such thing as luck if opportunity meets preparedness. So now if I've eliminated luck, it's happiness. So you choose, you can decide, you choose to be happy even in sadness. So once you decide that I'm going to be happy, I'm not going to be sad, I'm not going to choose luck. And then there's no question of depending on luck. So finally is pursuit of happiness, and only happiness. Do not pursue luck. That's my answer to you.
I think as we draw close to the end of this session, I mean, kind of rephrase what Dr. Giriswamy and Dr. Vivek said. Happiness can never be got. Happiness can only be pursued. Number one, happiness can be practiced. They say you practice happiness. That means it's up to you. Anything may happen around you. It is finally up to you how you react to it. And as Dr. Giriswamy said, thousands of thoughts go through our mind, mostly negative. And every negative emotion, we hate, we are jealous, we are sad, okay, we are depressed. So all these negative emotions will have a toll on our physical health. They produce cortisol, they stop all the endorphins, and all the negative influences of these stress hormones will take it. Now, I think Dr. Vivek Kadambi will agree with me that cancers, autoimmune disease, depression, you name bowel disorders, all these are directly linked to the amount of positive or negative emotion that you experience every day. I think in some cases very clear cut, some cases indirect. So I think now it is up to you that physical health is vastly controlled by our emotions. So it is your duty to see that you nurture positive emotions. And as Dr. Muralidhar said, that finally we do all these and finally we kick the bucket, nobody remembers us even. Okay, so nobody really, bothers. I mean, you are out of news and you are just there, you just disappear from nowhere. We always think we are immortal. So I think just keeping that final day in our mind, we see, are we really, prepared? Number two, are we really having the positive emotions? We want to always earn money. I think I have a video of Dr. I'll run that video of Dr. Bhujang Shetty. I always asked him, sir, you are rich. So you say that, I mean, you don't need money. But what about another person? Somebody who does not have money thinks that money will give you happiness. You say that money can't buy you happiness. But a poor man has to say this, not a rich man. So finally, we also think that probably there has to be some basic amount of money for you to be happy. But after that, that we all of us have. All of us are fortunate that we are having that much of money to be happy. But over and above that, we keep earning, yawning, losing your sleep and looking at the other person, getting jealous. So all these things is something that and the one more, probably the best way to be peace and happy is just to have a sense of attitude of gratitude. We always feel entitled. I'm a doctor, as Dr. Rajshekar said, we have that bloated ego and everything comes by entitlement. I drive a car, I'm entitled to it. Okay, I'm saluted by people. So we really do not understand that we are like anybody else. All men are created equal. All human beings are created equal. I think probably once you get down to that and you start showing gratitude to whatever you have, be it in your family, profession, health, mental health, your peace that you enjoy, when you start feeling grateful, I think that you understand that how lucky you are, how happy you can be. I think that is probably the realization. That is where all this, as Dr. Giriswamy said, your preparation or your training your mind, okay, to this ultimate emotion, positive emotion is something that is very, very handy. I think I'll just try sharing the screen once again. There has been some technical glitch.
So while you're trying to do that, KP, I'll keep the audience engaged. Very good. Okay, you got it. That's fine.
Is it coming?
Yeah, it's coming,
Yes,
but no
yes.
audio. Audio, you need to press the audio. I can't hear you. Below there's a
Audio is
icon.
not there?
No, below icon. Let's see whether that is muted. No, that's all on. What you need to do is Zoom. You have to go to Zoom's, go to settings and say share optimized video or optimized audio. If you're sharing a screen, you go to share screen. You click on share screen. There is one called share sound and optimize for video clip. Share sound. You will see one. Can you click on that? Share sound.
Yeah.
Go to share screen. Below there's a small box that says share sound.
Yeah, click that.
Now you should be able to. Sorry, why am I sharing this? Sorry, I clicked on share screen. Now you share screen, but before you share screen, just
Share sound. Okay, I'll do that.
While we are
Yes, ma'am.
talking about happiness, money, and life beyond ophthalmology, Vivek sir
Is it
has
coming?
done money beyond
Yes,
ophthalmology.
we can hear now.
Spiritual health is to see the world from a different angle. If we can accept things as they are, we will be in peace. The problem is we are almost all the time resisting whatever is happening, not forgetting that acceptance is peace and resistance is pain. If we could accept all our near and dear ones or everybody who's in our circle, definitely we'll have less pain, less stress. One other thing is that I feel we should all take responsibility for whatever is happening in our life. We always tend to blame something or somebody else for what is happening in our lives. But unfortunately, we do not realize that all or everything that is happening to us, we have attracted to ourselves at some level. And be it karma or whatever you call it, it is our responsibility. Every single thing and every single person in our life has been chosen by us in truth. And everything is happening for our good and for our growth. So the only way to see the outer world is to see good in all, to see God in all.
Wonderful. That is very inspiring. I just wanted to add one more thing, one thing over here. Can you hear me, guys? Is my audio coming through?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, I think Jayashree is recently, she saw me perform a song. So whenever you perform the song, if you feel the song and not sing the song, feel the song and you get into that level of meditation, you'll see the bliss. I'm sure Ashutosh, when he does a few laps of his swimming, when he gets into a zone, he gets that level of meditation. So I think my best way of explaining how meditation is happiness is that in what you're doing, just try to get to a high level, and the level that makes you so happy. Your endorphins and your oxytocin and all your hormones, of course, you can't measure them, but you can feel them coming through. And that's where I believe that you can, that's one form of meditation. My wife does in a different way. Every morning she'll get up and she will meditate. She will, each one has their own way of doing the meditation. But to me, if I were to answer that in whatever you do, if you find that a zone and try to reach that zone every time, you don't have to do every time. And then if you have caused happiness, end of this session, if I find that all of us go up happy and the audience goes happy, then that's one thing about happiness. The more you give, the more you get. So that's one beautiful thing about happiness.
I definitely would agree, sir.
Sir, 1 minute, 1 minute. The acceptance, see how to achieve the acceptance is we have to increase the mind capacity, brain capacity, and our DNA capacity, and our brain EEG pattern capacity, alpha state. See, these things to explain you, I need at least 10 minutes. How today's world is according to quantum science, quantum therapy, quantum medicine, and then quantum energy. The life is, human health is depends on psycho-neuro-immunology, not psycho-neuro. Previously, psychosomatic. Previously, it was psychosomatic. Now it depends on psycho-neuro-immunology.
Dr. Girish, I will sign up for your course. I will sign up for your course. Please have.
We reach acceptance when you activate our DNA capacity, when you activate our pineal gland. That is ultimate. That is through meditation.
Sir, talking about acceptance, please accept our invitation to be a guest speaker for 1 hour through KOS exclusively on meditation.
Yes, I'll sign up right away.
Yes.
Dr. Rajshekhar is here from KOS.
We'll do that.
He's the testimony.
I took one session in Shekhar Netralaya a few years back.
It was excellent. It was.
All right.
So I think
we still remember that.
For the rest of the KOS, Dr. Rajshekhar.
Yeah.
One question, Dr. Muralidhar, before we close. Muralidhar sir, is music your meditation? Like you went to music.
Using meditation.
Music, your meditation. Does it give you that resilience, peace, or that kind of tranquility normally meditation gives? Singing, does it give you all that?
Yeah.
No, I didn't actually get the question. You mean to say singing gives me the same amount of this one? Is it what you mean?
Is it
Like
your form of meditation? I said, because Dr. Vivek Kadambi said there are multiple ways of doing the same thing.
Definitely.
So how does music help you in a short answer?
See, music, again, as Vivek said, pursuit of anything itself is something that will train the mind, So music is, it's like a mini form of meditation, I would say. So when you want to sing a song, you need to get into the mood of the song, that emote that song. For that moment, you are actually representing that emotion. When you bring out that emotion, so that, and when you see that, when you sing and others, you're able to give some amount of pleasure to others when they listen to you. So that definitely gives you a kind of satisfaction. Something, in your mind, it says, yes, I am doing something good. So that feeling good is something that I feel, music helps me to some extent, to a great extent. If I'm able to do something that gives pleasure to another human being, I feel satisfied.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we have the next session people sitting here. I think already Dr. Lakshmi has
one study about the music meditation is the beta waves in EEG is reduced.
Okay.
but just remember this. Lastly, I'll say, Ashutosh, remember this. That if you say that I'm pursuing music, or I like Murli and me, we know that people just see us performing the song. But before that, you take the song, you read the chords, you break it up, you listen to the music, you write the lyrics, you have your library. There's a lot of organized and discipline that goes into that. And then you reach that state of meditation. You cannot achieve any meditation in any field without going through that discipline. I think that's a rule number one.
I think we close asking one sentence from Dr. Sudhakar, Dr. Ashutosh, Dr. Jayashree. So Sudhakar sir, what is your one sentence message in this panel?
Yeah. No, before that, I wanted to ask you. You did not tell about your activities. I came to know that you do a lot of.
I'm the Sutradara. I'm the hand behind the puppets. Only the puppets
you play a lot
are
of sports, badminton, shuttle, swimming, in spite of your busy schedule. I came to.
I have a habit of making people think that I'm busy. So, and a busy man always should find time.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ashutosh, one sentence message.
Yes, sir. Apart from the physical benefits of swimming, like meditation, when you're doing lap swimming, you are in a zone of your own and you're in the world where nobody is disturbing you. So you can actually meditate while swimming. So you're concentrating on your breathing and you're in a different zone. So I can recommend it to everybody to meditate in water. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jayashree.
I've been this one person who is always, on the road of self-exploration and discovery. And like Vivek Kadambi sir said, I'm good, officially I'm proposing him to be my mentor because I can relate with so many things that he is doing that, next year I'll be doing something else. Next year I'll be saying something or doing something else. For me, this year, the highlight has been that I started meditating from Jan 2021. Not really following any particular guru or any cult, but 35 to 40 minutes of some days it is just sound, or some days it is just breathing, some days it is guided meditation. And I can see phenomenal changes in my temperament, in the way I am able to deal with myself and with situations around me as well. And unlike some sort of a misnomer that meditation might make people passive, my experience is that it has actually made me much more stronger. Calm people are the strongest. It has not made me too passive or something. I'm in a better position to handle surgeries, handle patients, or any kind of objectionable situations around me. So that calmness gives so much of extra strength. So I would recommend all ophthalmologists, youngsters especially, to take two things. The body needs movement and the mind needs stillness. So start moving for the body and be still in the mind, whatever way that suits.
Yeah, I don't know, Jayashree. I think you're going to give me more gyan than I'm going to give you.
Yeah, Sandhya madam.
Very, very well put, Jayashree. Very well put.
Very well put.
The mind needs stillness.
Stillness.
Let's all do a SWOT analysis, which is a term I learned while doing MBA. What are our strengths, weaknesses? Because these are what will become either our opportunities or threats. That is my. So we all sit and look at ourselves in a perspective outside ourselves, like as if we are looking at a third person. And every weakness that we have is an opportunity for us to work upon tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, Jayashree, I think we're getting late for the next session. You better get ready.
Yeah,
I also sit.
I think as we come to the end of the thing, I think we really discussed a lot of things. One small thing that I want to leave you with is, recently there was an exercise where I was asked to actually send a mail putting up all my positives. See, normally you're asked to say, please find mistake, let me know what mistake I do. Normally people ask you to correct your mistakes. But this was a reverse thing. Like they asked you to put all the good things about yourself. Okay, it was an exercise. I had to really think and write it because it had to be genuine. It had to be very sincere effort at it. And they also had made a similar impression of me, and they were supposed to match each other's notes. I think this is an exercise where you kind of self-realize that you are not really bad. Okay, there are a lot of good things about you. Probably realizing what is good in you actually makes you to harness it better to a different level. You can actually work on those positives much better. So I think we learned so much positives today. You already have some in you. I think you can integrate both, and probably we look beyond our ophthalmology for a better tomorrow. we can always be a better person. I think today is the last day of rest of my life. I think today is the first day of rest of my life. That means I can always start afresh. I can always change things. I can always meditate. I can always move my limbs. I can always swim. I can always sing like Vivek. I can always be a better person than what I am today. So thank you very much, all the panelists, especially Dr. Bhujang Shetty, who still helped from the background. I think with all of you signing off from here. Yes, sir.
Just half a minute. So
I think
we
the
need
next
to
session people are cultural, people are very cultured, so they're waiting.
I got a cultural. Yeah. I got to go for the cultural part. Put you on the big screen.
No. They're very cultured, so they're keeping quiet.
Thank you.
So there is cultural meeting.
I'm exiting.
Because
Can I say one sentence? So we
Yes,
need
sir.
to improve. We need to improve our spiritual quotient, intelligent quotient, emotional quotient. These three things are important for our happiness, and beyond happiness is blissfulness.
thank you,
And
sir.
on behalf
Thank
of
you.
everybody, I thank Krishna Prasad and also Ilan for giving this session, and Dr. Krishna Prasad for conducting so well, and Lakshmi for supporting Krishna Prasad.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think
It was a great experience.
we
It was
can
nice.
continue. We can all probably stop our videos and continue to look at the culturals. So over to you, Lakshmi. Sorry for keeping you waiting.
No, sir, it was an absolute pleasure to listen to this session.